Hi, everybody. Welcome to today's edition of the CrossFit Games Update Show. I'm Sean Woodland with Tommy Marquez and Pat Sherwood as we continue to preview the team division at the 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games. Yesterday, we talked about teams that did not win their regional, still very capable of winning the whole thing at the games, though. But today, we look at the teams that we really need to consider the top contenders.
I mean, let's get down to brass tacks. There's a very good chance that somebody we're going to chat about today on the show will be crowned the fittest affiliate here in a few short weeks, so it's pretty exciting.
Well, history tells us that one of these 8 teams will win the CrossFit Games this year, but beyond that, last year there was maybe 3-4 teams that I thought could win. This year, there's 8 to 10 teams easy that have a shot at taking home the cup.
And we talked a lot about some of those teams yesterday that are legitimate contenders. But as you heard Tommy mention, history is a great indicator with a team competition as to who the favorites are. That's because since we had this current format, the team that has won the Affiliate Cup has also won its regional. These are the 8 teams that did just that, and they are led by the defending champion, CrossFit Mayhem Freedom, as they took the title last year. And in the process of winning the Affiliate Cup in 2015, they put themselves in second in the all-time team event wins. They won 6 events last year. The top spot belongs to Ute CrossFit. They have won 10. They also won back-to-back Affiliate Cup titles. Mayhem trying to match that this year. And they added Lindy Barber. They did that in the offseason. What does she bring to the table for them?
I mean, would you consider Mayhem a good team last year?
I would consider them a great team last year.
Best in the world. Imagine that team, but better. That's what Lindy Barber is going to do for them. She went to the games as an individual in 2013 and 2015. I spoke with her on the phone, and she said, believe it or not, her goal was always to be on a team at the games, not to go individual. She grew up with team athletics, and that's where she wanted to go, but couldn't find a good team. The individual side of the house, the volume required and whatnot, she said didn't treat her body that well. Perfect timing. Rich Froning Jr. says, hey, would you like to join my team of pretty good fitness athletes? And she says, absolutely. Goes down there, checks it out. The fit is great, low stress, having fun with training. Curious to see if that's going to carry over at regionals. And she said the attitude was fantastic there. Super excited. Mayhem, better than ever.
Yeah, we know about Barber, we know about James Hobart, we know about Rich Froning, but who's the unsung hero on this team?
For me, it's got to be Kristen Reffitt. On the women's side of the Mayhem team, she's really kind of the guts for the portion for the trio of women. She's a regionals caliber athlete, and there's some aspects of her game, where specifically gymnastics and some of the light to moderate barbells paired together, where she can hang with the best of the best. She was 6th in her region in 15.1 that had toes to bar and a light barbell. Then you 5th in 15.2, chest to bar, light overhead squat. 4th in 15.4, which had handstand push-ups, moderate power clean. This year, 7th in 16.1, she won the Central East region in 16.4, that nasty chipper with a boatload of handstand push-ups. And she's just one of those athletes. I think she really anchored the women's side the last year at the games. And say what you want about Lindy Barber. She's a phenomenal athlete. She gets kind of all the attention now as the new addition. But when it comes to CrossFit Mayhem Freedom, I mean, Kristen Reffitt is just the heart and soul on the women's side of this, and I think she's one of the ones that helped them win last year.
They are the defending champions until someone knocks them off. Who is a team in that top 8 that has the best chance to do that?
I know a team that would love to knock them out of the top contention. That's Team Dynamics. So they were first place out at the East Regional. We're hyping them up as a super team. They have athletes that have been individual games competitors on the team side of the house, competed at regionals as individuals. They're very well-rounded athletes from Colorado, Texas, Australia, New York. And what is interesting about this team, I spoke with Andrea Ager, who is full of just positive energy about how they're going to do at the games. They want to win. They're going to have fun, but they are there to win. Make no mistakes about it. They not only have a captain, they also have a coach. The coach is Justin Kotler, and he actually hand-selected and kind of recruited each one of the athletes on this team because he thought they would all come together very well. Thus far, he's been right. And compared to some other teams, Andrea said what's interesting about Dynamics is they have specialists. She said, while we may take a hit in some events, we will win other events. So I'm very excited to watch them.
I think Boise CrossFit Rainbow is one of those teams, along with Dynamics. I just can't get over how dominant they were at regionals. 8 straight top 3 finishes to start the weekend. The only finish outside of top 3 was the 4th in the final event. No other team can boast that. In 2014, Boise CrossFit, a different version of this team, finished 8th at the CrossFit Games. But then you look at who they added this year for 2016. They added 3 teammates from Team Verdant Green's CrossFit Games team from last year. So they've only gotten stronger. And they added a guy in Cameron Pernich. He's 22 years old. He's got a 400-pound clean and jerk, a 330 snatch, a 5 505 back squat,
Okay.
a 520 dead. You talk about winning events. This is the type of athlete that will win events for teams with how strong he is.
It's probably a little misleading to call any of the teams in this group of 8 a dark horse, but for the sake of argument, let's do just that. Who are a couple teams that are dark horses in this group?
Here's a dark horse I'm keeping my eye on. CrossFit Milford Black. They took 3rd place at regionals out there in the East. And what I really like about them is I look at the last 4 events and how they did, because there was a bunch of diverse tests. On event number 6, which was the partner deadlifts and the synchronized burpees over the bar, just some grunt work and engine, they took 1st place. Then you go to events 7 and 8 that had the power snatches, synchronized toes to bar, handstand walking, which that skill can get a lot of teams. They had a 1st and a 2nd place there. And then the final event, thrusters and legless rope climbs, that big monkey wrench, they made the time cap, they took 6th place, so they can really do it all.
I'm looking at the South Regional Champion, hashtag team density out of CrossFit Overtake. If you look at the numbers, they're arguably the least dominant of the 8 regional champions, but they have some pieces specifically with a couple of individual athletes that I think will allow them to succeed in some events at the games. Specifically, Marco Coppola with a 418 clean and jerk, a 334 snatch. He's arguably the strongest athlete in the field. Then they have 2 great all-around athletic females, Nicole Caperso, who is a regional level athlete in the Mid-Atlantic last year. She's a Division I basketball player for Hofstra. And then a real wild card of an athlete that I know personally in Lindsay Schutzler. I actually went to high school with her, but she was a 3-time All-American at the University of Tennessee for softball. She won a gold medal with Team USA as an outfielder in the World University Games. She was the 1st overall draft pick in the National Pro Fast Pitch League. She's got great athleticism, and at the games is where athletes that have had success in other sports really get to showcase that athleticism with the wide range of programming that we see come out of the hopper.
The team competition is going to be a blast to watch. Of course, every team in the top 8 has a chance, and then we talked about some teams yesterday, so a lot of depth in that team division. You want to be there live to watch it. Tickets are still available. The tennis stadium tickets, however, are sold out, but soccer stadium tickets still available. If you get one of those, you're still going to be able to watch all the events that go down at the 2016 Reebok CrossFit Games and have a great time in the process. That's going to do it for us for today. For Pat and Tommy, I'm Sean. We are back next week to start taking a look at the individual competition.